In this video, we shall see isoperimetric problems and try to solve that problems. The problem in which the functional which is eligible for extremization of the given definite integral is required to conform with certain restrictions. Is called as isoperimetric problems. The problem in which the functional which is eligible for extremization of the given definite integral is required to construct certain restrictions that are given at the boundary conditions. Such problems are called as isoperimetric problems. The method of extremization of isoperimetric problem, the method of extremization of isoperimetric problem is exactly analogous to the method of finding stationary value of the function under certain conditions by Lagrange multipliers method. We shall take one theorem about isoperimetric problem. The statement of the theorem is like this. Theorem: obtain the differential equation which is satisfied by the functional f of x, y, y dash, which extremizes the integral I y x equal to integration from x1 to x2 of f of x y y dash dx, subject to the condition y at x1 equal to y1 and y at x2 equal to y2, and the integral j equal to integration from x1 to x2 g of x y dash dx equal to constant. We have to prove this theorem. What is the statement of theorem? We shall see again. Obtain the differential equation which is satisfied by the functional f of x y dash dx, f of x y dash, which extremizes the integral I yx equal to integration from x1 to x2 f of x y dash dx, subject to the conditions y at x1 equal to y1, y at x2 equal to y2, and the integral j equal to integration from x1 to x2 g of x y dash dx equal to constant. Of the theorem is as follows. Consider the functional between 2 points. Consider the functional between 2 points p x1 y1 and q x2 y2 given by integral Iyx of equal to integration from x1 to x2 f of x y dash dx. Suppose this is equation 1. This integration have the condition, that means subject to the condition y at x1 equal to y1 and y at x2 equal to y2. This is the second equation, and it is also given that j equal to integral x1 to x2 g of x y dash dx equal to constant. This is equation 3rd. We shall draw a figure. Suppose this is XOY plane and PX1 Y1 and QX2 Y2 be the 2 points in this plane. These 2 points can be joined by infinitely many curves. The points P and Q can be joined by infinitely many curves. Accordingly, the value of the integral I will be different for different path. Let all the possible path starting from P and ending at Q be given by 2 parameter family of curves as y of x equal to yx plus epsilon 1 eta 1x plus epsilon 2 eta 2x. This is equation 4. Suppose this is y equal to y of x curve, and this curve family is given by capital Y equal to y at x plus epsilon 1 eta 1x plus epsilon 2 eta 2x, where epsilon 1 and epsilon 2 are parameters and eta 1x and eta 2x are arbitrary differentiable functions of x, such that eta 1 x1 equal to 0 equal to eta 1 x2 and eta 2 x1 equal to 0 equal to eta 2 x2. These are the conditions. These conditions ensure us that the curves of family that all passes through the points P and Q note that we cannot express yx as a one parameter family of curve. Because any change in the value of a single parameter would in general alter the value of j. Whose constancy must be maintained. We shall look for a curve along which the functional I has an extremum value under the condition given in the equation 4, that is y at x equal to y of x plus epsilon 1 eta 1 at x plus epsilon 2 eta 2 at x. Let C be a such curve let C be such curve between P and Q whose equation is given by y equal to y of x. Such that the functional y at x1 equal to y1 and y at x2 equal to y2 along the curve must be extremum. The values of the integrals Iyx is subject to the functional such that the functional subject to y at x1 equal to y1 and y at x2 equal to y2 along the curve must be extremum. The values of the integral Iyx equal to integration from x1 to x2 f of x y dash dx and j equal to integral x1 to x2 g of x y dash dx along the neighboring curve given in equation 4 are obtained by replacing y by capital Y in both the equations. That is equation 2 and equation 4. Thus we have I at epsilon 1, epsilon 2 integral equal to integral x1 to x2 f of x y y dash dx equation 6 and j epsilon 1 epsilon 2 equal to integral x1 to x2 g of x y y dash dx equal to constant. This is equation 7. Equation 7 shows that epsilon 1 and epsilon 2 are not independent. Epsilon 1 and epsilon 2 are not independent. They are related by equation j epsilon 1 epsilon 2 equal to constant. This is equation 8. Thus, the change in value of one parameter, thus the change in the values of the parameter are such that the constancy in the equation 7 is maintained. Thus, our new problem is to extremize the integral 6 under the restriction seven. That means we have to solve new problem given in equation 6 and equation 7. For solving this problem, we use Lagrange's multipliers. Thus, multiply equation seven by lambda and adding it to equation 6, we shall multiply equation 7 by lambda and add to equation 6. We will get new equation I star at epsilon 1 epsilon 2 equal to I plus lambda j. That is nothing but integral from x1 to x2 f star x y y dash dx. This is equation 9, where lambda is Lagrange's undetermined multiplier. And f star equal to f plus lambda g. This is equation 10 cells. Thus, extremization of 1 equation 1 subject to the condition 3 is equivalent to extremization of 10, extremization of 9 extremization of equation 9. Thus, from differential calculus, the integral f star I star, the integral I star is extremum if dou I star by dou epsilon j for epsilon 1 equal to 0, epsilon 2 equal to 0 is 0. Thus, from equation 9, we have dou I star by dou epsilon j at epsilon 1 equal to 0, epsilon 2 equal to 0, equal to 0. This implies integration from x1 to x2 dou f star by dou y into eta jx plus dou f star into dou y dash into eta j dash x dx equal to 0 for j equal to 1, 2. This is equation 11. By setting epsilon 1 equal to 0, epsilon 2 equal to 0, we replace y and y dash by capital Y and capital Y dash by y and y dash. Integrating the second integration by parts, we get first integral as it is, integral x1 to x2 dou f star by dou y eta jx plus we integrating second integration dou f star by dou y dash into eta jx from x1 to x2 minus integration from x1 to x2 d by dx of dou f star by dou y dash into eta jx dx. This is equal to 0. This is equation 12. As any curve is prescribed at the ends, hence using condition 5, we get integral from x1 to x2 dou f star by dou y minus d by dx of dou f star by dou y dash into eta jx dx equal to 0. This integral becomes 0. This value becomes 0 for j equal to 1 and 2. By using basic lemma of calculus, here we will use basic lemma of calculus. We get calculus of variation, of course. By using basic lemma of calculus of variation, we get dou f star by dou y minus d by dx of dou f star by dou y dash equal to 0. Equation 13. This is the required Euler-Lagrange differential equation. To be satisfied by y equal to y of x, for which the given functional I has extremum value under the conditions given in the equation 2 and equation 3. On this theorem, if y is not prescribed at either endpoint, then we have condition dou f star by dou y dash minus d by dx of dou f star by dou y double dash equal to 0. Second remark, if y dash is not prescribed at either endpoint, then dou f star by dou y double dash equal to 0 at that point. Third remark, if f equal to f of x, y, y dash, y double dash, y triple dash and so of yn, and g equal to g of x, y, y dash, y double dash up to y raised to n with the boundary conditions y, y dash, y double dash up to y raised to n minus 1, that means n minus 1 the root of y, are prescribed at both the ends, then the Lagrange equation is dou f star by dou y minus d by dx of dou f star by dou y dash plus d square by dx square of dou f star by dou y double dash so on plus minus 1 raised to n dn by dx raised to n dou f star by dou yn equal to 0. Thank you.